Welcome to how to create a free web page. Now in this video we're going to be talking all about hosting. Now let's just remind ourselves something straight away. Remember to get your web page online, the web page that you're going to be creating in a few videos time on your computer at home. To actually get that online, there is only two things that you will need. Firstly, you will need a domain name, and the second thing you will need is a hosting account, and that is what we'll be going through in this video, hosting. Now what does your host do? Your host, quite simply, is responsible for connecting what you create at home on your home computer to the World Wide Web. Now every website has and every website needs a hosting account. Now when you are purchasing a hosting account, you are going to be offered a few bits and pieces of information and choices. The first time it can be a bit confusing. So I'm going to tell you what it is your host will offer you, just so you understand what they are offering you. The first thing your host is going to offer you is bandwidth, and the second thing they're going to offer you is disk space. Now let's quickly look at what each of these things are. First, we have bandwidth. Now what is bandwidth? It is the speed at which your data can travel at. Now let me try to simplify that a bit more. Say you had an ebook on your web page. Well, how fast can it be downloaded to somebody's computer is determined by your bandwidth. So bandwidth is basically speed. Now the second thing is disk space. And what is disk space? Pretty much exactly as it sounds. Space. Now all hosting companies allow you a certain amount of space. It's like a storage facility. So when you upload your website to your hosting account, your website takes up so much space. How much space you can have for your website is determined by your hosting company. Now a lot of people get hung up on the space. I need more space. I need more space. Well, with some hosting companies, this is the amount of space you can have. But you have to know what hosting companies allow you unlimited disk space and unlimited bandwidth. And at the end of this video, I am going to suggest a hosting company for you. But surely, when your hosting company offers you space, you can pretty much be assured that you will probably only ever scratch the surface of the amount of space you're allowed to have. So I would never worry too much about space nor bandwidth. Particularly because I'm going to give you some information on computer file sizes. Now what I thought would be helpful, although you don't have to worry about space, the more you work with web pages, the more familiar you'll become with file sizes, and I thought it would be a good quick lesson if together we went through how disk space is broken down and the sizes of files that you might have heard about, like bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, and gigabytes. You should know about these file sizes. It will give you a better understanding about how much space computer files take up. Now if you have no frame of reference on bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, and gigabytes, by telling you the size of a file, that would not be very helpful. but you should learn these 4 sizes of files. So let's begin now. I am sure you probably have heard of bytes, kilobytes, and megabytes, and gigabytes, or at least kilobytes and megabytes. But if you haven't, you probably have no frame of reference, so let me try to explain them. For you, the easiest way to understand sizes is if you had 1 kilobyte, you would have 1024 bytes. If you had 1024 kilobytes, that would equal 1 megabyte, and 1024 megabytes equals 1 gigabyte. Now there is such a thing as terabytes, but I don't suspect you'll ever get into terabytes. But how many gigabytes do you think it would take to make 1 terabyte? A 1024. You're understanding these file sizes now. Some people remember by rounding it off to 1,000 also, instead of 1024. So they will say 1,000 kilobytes equals 1 megabyte, or 3,000 kilobytes equals 3 megabytes. 3 megabytes are equal to 3072 kilobytes, although it is not uncommon to round it off to 3000 kilobytes. So, I hope you understand file sizes a little better now. So now I want you to go look at some of your computer files and just check out the sizes of them. Just pick a folder or image and right click on it and left click on Properties in the drop down list of options and check out the different file sizes. Now back to hosting. In the next video, you will see me purchase hosting, so when you are ready, you will know how to do it. You can build a web page or a website for free, but remember, for anybody to see what you created, you need to upload it to your host. And in order to upload it, you will need an address on the web, which is your domain name. So now I'm going to go to Google and purchase hosting. So here's Google. So let's continue in the next video with purchasing hosting.